I'm approaching 4 years on eBay. I've sold 6,000 items, and today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 things I wish someone told me when I first started, 5 things that I did wrong, reflecting and looking back now, and what I know now, what I would tell myself now based off of what I know. So I will say I have hit 4 years on eBay. However, in the spring of 2019 is really when I really was like, I'm going to hunker down and I'm going to figure this out and get sales going. And it's where I started working with Chris at a Daily Refinement, and we got my sales from $2,000 a month to $10K a month between Poshmark and eBay, but most of that was a flip in the switch on eBay. If you guys want to check out that playlist, it is 4 years old, but it is definitely still helpful and relevant if you're trying to get consistent sales, if you're trying to increase your profits, all of the things that I worked with Chris at a Daily Refinement, there's a playlist for that. But today's video, I am looking back and reflecting on things I could have done in hopes to help you not go through the same trial and tribulations that I had to when I got on eBay. So I started out as a Poshmark seller. I came over with roughly, 1,200, something like that, listings from Poshmark, right? So where I'm telling this advice is coming from, I was reselling already, but not on eBay. The first thing was shipping. I know shipping is a struggle. I know shipping is hard. And so one of the things that I did is I already had items listed. I already had items that were already listed and, in my bins. I wasn't going to go through and weigh them. I did start weighing new items that I was listing, but I did not go through and take the time to weigh the items that I already had listed. I just cross-listed them over, and I put everything into padded shipping from USPS priority, right? Padded flat rates, padded medium boxes, and padded large boxes. Being on Poshmark for so many years, I knew the size of things. I knew a pair of jeans could fit into a padded flat rate. And so I just went through and did that. And it worked. But now that I know more, what I would suggest doing, if you have items and you don't want to weigh them or you don't have a scale yet, what I would recommend doing is going into eBay Terapeak data. I'll link a video up here that walks through the exact steps to doing this, but you can go into eBay Terapeak data and you can look for women's jeans. On average, women's jeans sellers are women's jeans are selling at 7.95 average shipping costs, right? So I would place my shipping costs, if I was doing it again right now and I was like, I don't know what to charge for shipping as I was learning, I would place my shipping costs based off of the market. Go into Terapeak and see what your competition is charging for shipping and charge that, because not only is that going to help with your sales, it's going to make sure that you have a shipping rate that is competitive, and it's also probably not going to help you lose money, all right? Doing the padded flat rate, I didn't really lose money because I was charging what it was costing, but I think it suppressed my sales because a lot of my shipping was really high compared to some of my counterparts. Something that could sell for first class, I was now putting at a padded flat rate. So it was higher than my competition, meaning that I wasn't having as many sales because my prices were too high. Now, depending on where you are in the country, that cost may have to differ a little bit. So you may have a little bit of loss, you may have a little bit of gain as you're learning it. So beware and be mindful that, hey, there's going to be a little bit of loss and I'm going to have to fine tweak it, but definitely go in and do your shipping costs according to the market. That's going to be the best way to get started until you learn how to ship. The second thing is I didn't know eBay. I didn't know the algorithm. I heard that you need to have as many photos as possible. At the time, there was 12 photos available. Now there's 24. And so what I would do is I took all my photos from Poshmark and I just did duplicates of the photos to get 12 photos. Because I was like, you have to have all the photos, right? And so while this wasn't necessarily wrong, I don't think it harmed it a little bit, and I'll tell you why. But I'm going to tell you it's not necessary. Having as many photos as possible is necessary because you need to have as many photos it takes to sell the item. If there's a flaw, people want to see tags, all of the information that people need to make a decision on whether they want to buy it. That's as many photos as you need. The eBay algorithm doesn't care if you have all 12 photos filled out. What the eBay algorithm cares about is buyer behavior. Do the buyers want lots of photos? If you are selling a postcard, you take a picture of the front and the back. You don't need 12 photos. If you're selling women's fashion, measurements and tags and flaws and, a pocket, if there's a really extravagant thing on the pocket or whatever it is. So it's not about having 12 items, or now it's 24. It's not about having all of the photos in there. It's about having photos that buyers want to see, right? And so one of the reasons I think that maybe it hurt me a little bit, one, it took me more time, which is unnecessary. There's not enough time in this business, so find ways to lessen your time, not increase your time. And the other thing is I think as buyers are going through, it is kind of confusing to them like there's a repeat in this photo. Is this photo repeated and it's showing something different that I'm not noticing? Is there maybe a flaw? Is there, right? So as you are listening and doing things, think about it from a buyer behavior. The third thing is I had very lengthy descriptions, and this is because I moved over from Posh. Definitely do not have emojis and fun and all of that. Some of that may fly on Poshmark or other platforms that you're selling on. It's not needed on eBay. What's needed in a description on eBay is what they need to know. That's it. Most buyers, you want to write your description like you don't have photos, and you want to take photos like you don't have a description. If you are a reseller, you know that they don't always look at all the photos and they don't always look at the description. So make sure to have enough information in both of those places. And then also know that most buyers are buying via mobile, which means that if you have a big lengthy description, it's really hard to see. They're not, now on eBay, you have to click see full description to even get to the full description. So this big lengthy description is not necessary. I will say with the caveat, I do still do it because I'm on Poshmark. I don't think having a big lengthy description is necessarily harming me. But if I were only on eBay, there's no reason to have a big lengthy description. You need to put in exactly what they need to know and leave it at that. Before we get on to the next 2 points, if you guys are enjoying this video, do make sure to like, save, share, and comment. It helps it push out to the algorithm for more views so more people can see this information. It's also a completely free way to support me as a content creator. You can also look at joining my YouTube memberships if you would like to support more content like this. Now, let's get to the next tip. Tip number 4 is I waited over a year to go to an eBay meetup. Now, I don't know that they have them everywhere. I will link the link up above on how eBay has an eBay seller meetup site on their platform. I do the Denver meetups now, which is funny, right? I wish I had done a eBay meetup earlier, and now I actually run the Denver eBay meetup. So you're in Denver, we're trying to do them every single month. You can see on the eBay website how and where we have those, but they have them all over the nation. They have virtual ones. And the benefit to this is not only just getting outside and meeting people as resellers. It gets very lonely when we're in this business together, or in this business alone at home by ourselves all the time, or wherever you work. It doesn't have to be at home, but it also, the amount of information that I learned, not only our eBay meetups are very educational. They had presentations and we learned things and we went through things, but even just talking to other sellers and getting to know other sellers. I actually met besides Chris at Daily Refinement, I have like an eBay go-to person that really helped me along with eBay. I met her at a Poshmark meetup, and then she was like, you got to come to this eBay meetup. You got to come to this eBay meetup. And after a year I went, and the amount of information that you can learn from other sellers, and even just connecting, and we text, hey, what do I do in this situation? What would you do in this situation? Sales are slow. It kind of sucks, right? Just having someone to connect to is going to make eBay easier, is going to give you a place to learn and grow and get better at selling. I don't work for eBay. Going to an eBay meetup does not, I don't get any kickback. eBay doesn't even make any money at it. They're just trying to get sellers connected together. You can also go to other reseller events as well. It doesn't have to be eBay specific. And then the last thing is, I was preserving my average sale price at the sake of volume. And what I mean by this is I had 1,200 items and comps were, $50. I can sell this purse for $50. It sold for $50. I'm going to wait for $50. And I was doing this at the sake of just making a sale. Now, the thing is it wasn't selling at $50. I was a new seller. I didn't have feedback. I wasn't top rated yet. I had, I'm in a highly saturated marketplace to where I have no feedback. I'm not a top rated. People don't know how I'm going to do. I wasn't offering free shipping. I had no reason to make someone purchase my item compared to these other sellers who have like 10,000 feedback. But I was like, oh, comps say $50, comps say $50. I'm going to wait for $50. And so what finally clicked, and honestly, what finally got me to make money and make more volume on eBay, I did a sale for 50% off my entire store. My average sale price plummeted. But my volume increased. That first month that I did a sale, it was after about 8 months on eBay, working with Chris at a daily refinement for a couple of months, getting things going on eBay. That is the month that it triggered my sales to increase, because now people are like, well, it's a lower price, I'm willing to do it and buy it. And once I started getting the volume going, it helped me get to that 100. You have to sell 100 items to become top rated. Top rated is going to help boost your sales. All of it kind of snowballed from there. Once I got that volume, I was learning more, I was shipping more, I was listing more, I was just learning at a quicker pace and kind of triggering that volume to go. And then once I got the volume, I worked on it, slowly increasing my average sale price and finding what sales price I needed to get the volume that I wanted. But the thing with this, and it goes all the way back to the first thing as well, is be willing to take a little bit of a hit for long-term gain. You're coming onto a platform with people who have been selling for 20 years. If you want to compete with them, you have to give buyers a reason to compete with them. And oftentimes it's going to be at a cost. If you are opening up a brick and mortar, your upfront costs are going to be significant. So think about it, as you're getting on there, you're kind of paying a cost to get to where you want to go. You're taking a short-term hit. I kind of thought of it as like a marketing expense, right? If I'm opening up a brick and mortar, I'm spending a lot of money getting my name out there and getting what I need for people to get the volume of people to come in. If you guys like this, check out some of my other videos.